The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious.
Ciao. What's up? It's your boy Darren Green back with another one of these episodes. Honey, look. I wasn't here last week. I want to apologize. But first of all, shout out to all the people that's watching on YouTube, the people that's listening on your preferred podcast platform, and also the people at We Are You Radio. What is going on, child? Let's give a bomb for the people that be listening. Like I said, I know y'all be listening, child. I'm getting the analytics every day, child, in the comments and you know, people subscribing and stuff like that. So this show is a one-man band, right? And I'm doing everything. You know, I'm not trying to sit there and say I need help or whatever, but it is a lot to create the content, brainstorm what everybody's into, what everybody is interested in hearing about, and what topic is the hottest topic, what topic isn't, right? So what happened last week, I also had to attend the funeral. It was a relative of mine, which also, you know, we was preparing for that on Saturday. But I also worked that Friday. They made me come in that day, right? So I was already dealing with that, mixed in with, you know, preparing for this funeral, and then I have to write these notes, which I have not wrote until like, I guess I started writing like that Thursday. And that's a whole nother thing that I need to fix, right? Me waiting until Thursday to write the notes like that is just like a recipe for disaster, because I'm over here trying to figure out what to talk about and try to hustle and trying to figure out what is trending. I started writing notes as early as Tuesdays. I want to start doing that now, because by the end of the week, I have enough topics that if nothing really rolls in towards the end of the week, I got these topics that I already wrote and already prepared for and did all that stuff. So I'm going to start doing that. That's the best thing I've ever done since doing a weekly podcast. But yeah, I mean, it's just the energy wasn't there. And I actually did attempt to do an episode. Let's be very clear. Like, if you guys follow me on YouTube, I did like a video that Saturday, and it was about Doja Cat. That was actually supposed to be episode, what is this, 222 or something, 223? That was supposed to be the recent episode of the podcast, but I was like, that topic was so good, I didn't want to just waste it. But like the other topics afterward, I was just like saying the topics, and it just wasn't. And you know how, look, you're gonna have to get to know me. Like, when it comes to topics, like, I can deliver the topics. I can say, okay, this happened and this happened and this happened, but what do I have to say about it? If I don't have anything, you know, nothing to add to these topics, I just won't post it. And that's just how I am. I don't do that often, so I'm not gonna be flaky or anything like that. Like, but you know, it was just a lot going on that week. So I do apologize if y'all was expecting the episode. I did try to give you some bit of content during that weekend, but you got me again. And honey, the topics, let me tell you about these topics, okay? These topics are okay. Because look, we got people allegedly lying. We got people getting fired. We got people crying over payment. Look, we got to get into all that. And you guys already know what I'm talking about as I'm detailing it, right? So, yeah. It's just a lot to get into. I know this is going to be an interesting show. This is going to be the last episode before our Christmas break. It's not going to really be a break anyway, because, you know, I don't tape a podcast on Monday or anything like that. So I will be back that following Saturday. But, you know, and I probably have my little New Year's resolutions. I was already thinking about it, you know, what I want to do, what I want to change, things that I'm talking about. Like, I'm looking at the analytics from this year's show. I think that I had a break I think 2021. Okay. And I did not do the show. And 2022. And in 2023, that's when I brought the show back, and I was trying to regain the momentum that I had back when I had the show prior. So this was like a struggle to get back on track, but we are back on track. Okay, let's be very clear. And I'm going to give you guys a good show next year. Next year is going to be great. We're going to have more interviews. We're going to have more collaborations, just more. Okay. And for my people at the We Are You Radio, I understand when I talk about all the topics I'm going to talk about and I don't get to it on there, is because I only got an hour slot. But we got some things coming next year. I don't know if I can say it. But I know if y'all noticed, like he was talking about, he said he was gonna talk about this, but he ain't never got to it. Trust, okay, it's gonna be got. Okay, let's be very clear. But you can also listen to my on-demand podcast on your preferred podcast streaming platform or on YouTube. So yeah, without further ado, I feel like I'm talking a little bit too much and not talking enough about these topics. Okay, let's get into the hot topics. Okay, now we got to talk about T.D Jakes. Apparently, he a power bottom now, allegedly, child. We got to talk about Jonathan Majors and his verdict, child. We also got to talk about Christian Keys, girl. That messy stunt queen. We'll get into him later. And we also got to talk about Taraji P Henson. She was in an interview upset visibly about the gap pay when it comes to Black actors and actresses and stuff like that. So, like I said, we have a lot to get into. Let's get started. Now, T.D. Jakes is a power bottom. Okay, allegedly. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to read this little excerpt and then I'm going to tell you what I think. Okay, now, look, the tea came from this TikTok page, and I'm not trying to say, look, they got like 20,000 followers. Look, I got 30,000, right? So, I mean, look, I'm not trying to say the validity of somebody's page because of follower count, but I'm just saying, my eyebrow is just a little bit up. Like, how you get that information, right? How they didn't give it to this information. But of course, the Shade Room wouldn't post nothing like this, right? Because then don't T.D. Jakes' daughter owns the Shade Room or something like that? Allegedly. I don't know. Anyway, according to an unconfirmed viral TikTok report, Bishop T.D. Jakes is at the pulpit of a slew of heinous acts in a possible incriminating email that has broke the internet, right? If you didn't know, TikTok recently erupted with chaos when a user named Just Nene brought attention to a new rumor surfacing amid the songstress Cassie's explosive lawsuit against her former partner and music mogul Diddy. Now, as previously reported last month, Cassie has sued Diddy for alleged sex trafficking and abuse, among other things, throughout their over decade-long relationship. Although they have since settled amicably, more groundbreaking information continues to hit headlines. Okay, the latest claim originated from a popular blogger, Tough News TV on YouTube, in a nearly 40-minute video. The commentator said that he received an alleged tip from an unknown individual who cited that Cassie had turned Diddy's ex-children's mother Kim Porter's burner phone to the police. Now, we did hear about that. Allegedly, along with the device and a USB, Cassie provided exclusive video and audio recordings of Diddy's supposed ex parties, right? Where he has hosted with several powerful people in the industry over the years. The evidence was said to have been given to aid in the case against the Bad Boy Records founder. The Insider's recent email, Tough News TV read, Cassie has turned over substantial amounts of evidence to the feds. I am told that after Cassie had a long conversation confidentially and her lawyers, she was convinced to give up the videotapes and audio recordings that contain footage of sex parties and other private gatherings that featured some pretty powerful and prominent people. She gave up a burner phone and a USB that belonged to Kim Porter with incriminating evidence against Diddy. Okay. They continue later in the message mentioning that the 66-year-old Bishop T.D. Jakes allegedly was connected to Diddy's sinister operations, child. In quotes, I'm also told that multiple male escorts corroborated the fact that T.D. Jakes has slept with multiple men at Diddy's parties and abroad, child. And one of the things that they said in there was that he was a power bottom. Okay. I feel bad for the kiddies that got to explain to their parents, because their parents like, what's the power bottom? What's the power bottom? Like, girl. It's delusional. Girl, what is going on with his tea? He a power bottom, honey? I mean, I was just like, girl. I was so flabbergasted. Now look, this is a TikTok creator, and look, I'm from TikTok too. I got a good following on there. Follow me on TikTok, Darren Green TikTok. Well, it did say it came from another news source too. And like I said, these are smaller news organizations, but I'm not saying that they're not true. I'm not saying that they're lying or anything like that. Because let's be very clear. Jaguar, a lot of the stuff that is said in this, Jaguar already confirmed. If y'all don't remember, Jaguar Wright is a R&B star that has come out, you know, and talked about the stuff, the sinister things that Diddy would do and how powerful people was around him. She did make mention to T.D. Jakes before. She had like this clip, I forgot what the YouTube page was called, but she was talking about like, you know, he went to Diddy's parties, you know, T.D. Jakes, and you only go there for two things. You either go there for some sex or you go there for some money or both. And T.D. Jakes has been hanging out with Diddy. Let's be very clear. I mean, look, I mean, a lot of people was like bringing up his music and saying, oh, this song title sounds suggestive, or the way he was acting in one of his sermons and stuff like that. Like, people were connecting the dots. And I'm like, you know what? It's not that far-fetched. If it is true, it's not that far-fetched, because you know what? It's a lot of these conservative, these little fake ass conservative Christians that want to sit there and talk about, oh, they don't endorse homosexuality, and oh, T.D. Jakes recently, okay, went viral for talking about, you know, how women should be and act and this, that, and the third. And you saying all that, but you're doing all this behind closed doors. And I'm not saying that homosexuality is like this bad thing. Let's be very clear. But what I'm saying is, if you preaching that and you doing this, then we have a problem, okay? Because you condemning me but doing what I do behind closed doors, that's a problem. And you see how the cookie crumbles. The cookie always, look, the truth will always come out of the light. Okay. And I've seen this TikTok video of this person was talking about the situations that's been going on. There's a lot of things coming out. There's a lot of people coming out. We just had like a model, from the 90s that came out and said that this actor assaulted her before. Like, in 2024, I do predict that there's going to be a lot more outings of these celebrities. These celebrities are which we've beloved for years, right? They got some skeletons in their closet. And I think that this is the time. This is the people that are coming out. Time's up. Time has been up. Okay, let's be very clear. And people are saying what they're saying. I mean, there's nothing more I can say on this T.D. Jakes situation. Like I said, it's all alleged. You know, none of the major blog sites are really talking about this. We know the Shade Room is not going to talk about it. Like I said earlier, I just seen the Jasmine brand. They made a post, but girl, you a day late and a dollar short, honey. We was talking about this a couple days ago. Look, here's the thing. I think that people just need to live in their truth. Like, if this is literally true, right, then everything that you stood for is lies. I think your people that follows you and goes to your little churches or whatever, well, not little church, because he's a mega church, honey. They should be concerned. They should definitely question him at this point. That's what I think. But tell me what y'all think in the comments, chat. I'm done off this. Let's move on. All right, now I want to talk about Jonathan Majors. Girl, they found him guilty, honey. He was guilty. Well, look, here's the thing. A New York jury found Jonathan Majors guilty of reckless assault in the third degree and guilty of harassment. The verdict was reached by a six-person jury after roughly over 4 hours of deliberation spread across 3 days. He was found not guilty of intentional assault in the third degree and not guilty in aggravated harassment in the second degree. So his sentencing will be February 6th. And they're saying that if, he could face a year. So I think what he was found guilty for was harassment and reckless assault, right? Reckless assault. We talked about it on live on YouTube recently. I was with Medusa and El Teddy, and Teddy explained how, reckless assault basically means, okay, I'm mad, maybe at you, maybe at whatever, and I choose to throw a basketball in the wall, right? Because I'm mad. The basketball bounces off the wall and it hits you in the head. Okay, that's and I didn't intentionally mean to assault you, but me being mad and reckless, I assaulted you accidentally. So he was found guilty because he accidentally assaulted this woman. Y'all see where I'm getting at? Look, there's a lot of holes in the story. It is a lot of holes in the story. I will also say this. I also don't like the conversation of how like people are saying, oh my goodness, like he's like, this is the modern day Emmett Till, and this is okay, hold on, wait. Y'all need to stop. Like y'all didn't hear that audio, like y'all didn't hear the evidence that was against him. Let's be very clear. I think that was this assault at the magnitude of let me just bring this person up, Chris Brown and Rihanna. No, not at all. Right? But was abuse done? Possibly, yes. I would say so. I don't think that we should be making this person out to be some type of martyr. I think that, that audio of itself and of him like basically telling this girl that you need to be like Loretta Scott and Michelle Obama, it asinine one. And just to like, it shows I wouldn't say let me not say narcissistic. More just like he don't seem right. Like he seemed off. Okay. So if it's not physical abuse, it's definitely mental abuse, right? And mind you, the people that's saying that, oh my goodness, like this is modern day Emmett Till, and there's a whole lot of, it's a lot of men, right? It's a lot of black men, okay, that's coming out and saying all this stuff, right? Let's be very clear that a couple months ago, maybe to a year, you were outing this man. Like you were definitely saying, oh, this man, he is demasculating black men and he's taking pictures with Michael B. Jordan so romantically, and he doesn't represent us. He doesn't represent us, and now he represents y'all. He represents y'all now because he done got caught up in some okay, and now have to pay for it. Oh, okay. I hear you loud and clear. Pick a damn struggle. Okay. And I also think that Jonathan Majors played a just stupid game in the court. Let's be very clear. You were reading a Bible when this woman was testifying? Are you dumb? You and Megan Good was crying and getting emotional in the courtroom to show sympathy. And I had to say this. I had to ask this to my friend. I was like, are you trying to win a case or an Oscar? It's the inability to hold himself accountable for me, okay, in your actions. The juries don't like that, okay? They see an ounce of narcissism. They see an ounce of arrogancy. Oh, you're done. You played a bad part. And how it came out is part of your undoing. Now, let's be very clear. That lady that lady tried to leave the country. Why the hell that lady tried to leave the country? Okay. It's a whole lot of stuff. We see him running away and her chasing him. Like I said, like it's just it's very confusing. It's but what I do know is that he could have potentially been abusive, maybe not physical, but definitely mentally. And she has every right to do what she has to do. It is what it is. We have a lot of people, fighting in the comments, talk about some, oh my goodness, like they're trying to get him. And girl, get out of here, jam. Y'all do this every time. Like I remember y'all did this with the whole Tory Lanez situation. I'm like, y'all did not give a goddamn about no damn Tory Lanez. Okay, but the moment he did some illegally, like he shot somebody, oh no, they trying to get him. They trying to get a black man down. Y'all answer, oh, you ain't okay, let's be very clear. Let's call a thing a thing. I'm so done with y'all. Girl. Bye.
It's delusional.
Delusional. Okay, anyway. Now, Marvel, one last thing that I will say about the situation, Marvel did fire him. He will not be reprising his role as Kang the Conqueror. Okay. And I don't fault the business. Let's be very clear. I think Marvel was the most, and people will fight me on this, but Marvel was the last company, franchise, whatever you want to call it, to fire him. This man lost his management. Okay. He lost brand deals, businesses, sponsors, all that. Marvel still was, they still had him. I mean, they played the Loki movie. He was in it, and when his verdict came out, they said, deuces, look, we can't support this because now our sponsors is jeopardized. Some people might want to quit because we're uplifting an abuser. You had your day in court, you lost. And that's how the cookie crumbles in this country. Reputation is everything. Okay. Look, it just is what it is, honey. Now, I'm done off this. I'm gonna move on. Okay. One other topic I wanted to get into, and you guys already know what the hell it is. I don't even know where I want to start with this. Where do I even want to start with this? Okay. This Christian Keys situation, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, I mean, he just, I want to preface this by saying that we should definitely believe people that come out and talk about their experiences and how they were assaulted and stuff like that. That definitely should be a thing. I don't think people should not talk, right? Not at all. But we gotta get into the meat and potatoes when we come out with certain statements and then just kind of teeter-tot at who could it have been. Because it's really aggravated me. Okay, so this actor, Christian Keys, y'all know him from, I remember him from Madea Goes to Jail. That dude with the cross on his chest, child, and Cassie Davis was like, "Oh Lord, a cross." Anyway, so he took to Instagram and made these explosive revelations, talking about his experiences with sexual assault at the hands of a powerful man in Hollywood. Okay. In a video posted in December 15th, Keys mentioned that there are certain powers and were moving inappropriately. He detailed how this alleged man harassed him for many years. And the 48-year-old has also noted that the Hollywood gatekeeper also had multiple young men on payroll to be available at his request, right? Now, since then, people have speculated that the person that he was talking about was Tyler Perry, okay? The conversation started to get a little muffled, though, after Christian seemingly denounced the possibility that it was Tyler. So on Twitter, he liked a tweet that said, "I don't think Tyler did it." So right in there, we're like, okay, so he's saying that Tyler didn't do it. Okay. But then we get like a post of him in this it was like an old interview that he had and talking about his upbringing and all this other stuff and talking about how, well, I don't want to, this is the reason why I don't really say who it is, because I always run away from things and this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, all right, fine. Then he made a comment talking about, oh, if I told y'all who this was, like it would really hurt y'all. It would hurt the internet and this, that, and the third. Okay. I'm like, okay. Now by this time, my eyebrows is up. I'm like, okay, this sounds a little Jussie Smollett-ish. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna hold you. I was like, girl. And then the icing on the cake was this post right here. Okay, so he says some of these negative and ignorant comments are the exact reason that men, especially black men, don't talk about this kind of stuff. I pray that the people making these comments never have the experience that I had. And y'all said his name in the comments, which is crazy because of how many people know what's going on, trying to find the strength to finish the race. What are you talking about? We don't know what's going on. We are literally throwing names at the wall and seeing what sticks. Okay, we don't know who you're talking about. Okay, so if you're saying that people are already saying the name, so are you talking about Tyler? Because that's the only person that we're talking about here. That's the only person that people are saying that it is. People are saying that it's Tyler. Some people were saying it was Lee Daniels. That was on some, I was definitely in some group chats. People saying it could have been Lee Daniels. Okay, nobody is saying nobody else but Tyler, but you just liked a post that said it wasn't Tyler. So are you protecting him or you're not? I'm like, what's going on? Say the person name. Okay. And somebody said this in the comments. If you're not going to take it serious, then we're not going to take it serious. Okay. I am all for people coming out with their stories and what happened to them, what people did to them. But we got to start naming names. The real victims of whoever you're talking about would never get the justice that they need because you didn't bring up the person's name. So it just defeats the purpose. I mean, you're talking about it because of awareness. Okay, we can have conversations about awareness. But if you keep playing at it like, oh, well, if I tell this is going to break the internet or this is going to do this. And for you to sit there and say, oh, this is why men don't come out. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because there has been men that came out and talked about their assault. We seen Terry Crews. Yeah, they made fun of Terry Crews, but look, he won. Okay, we've seen people come out. It's not at an alarming rate, of course, but it is happening. And people are saying people's names. You wanted that Cassie moment. You should have said that man's name and came with a lawsuit. Okay, let's be very clear. Okay, you're not looking for to get paid off, whatever, that and the third. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying the implications that he's like giving. I'm saying it implies when you're doing all this and you're not saying the names and you're playing at it and you keep on coming out with a new post talking about something, it gives the assumption that this could be a little bit of a clout chase. I'm sorry. I don't think that he is. I want to believe him. I think that we should believe everybody that comes out and says that they were assaulted. But if you keep on playing at it and keep on going back and forth and not really saying who the thing is, like if you're not going to say their name, like Monique said, say their names. And like I told Lenard, if you ain't going to say their names, keep it on the playground. It's almost like the boy who cried wolf, right? Like, oh my goodness, like, oh, this wolf is so crazy. Like he has fangs. He has all this stuff. Where he at though? Where can we point him out? You get what I'm saying? Like, girl. Look, don't get me started on this. If we got people making their little responses and stuff like that, people are saying that it could have been Tyler Perry. Now, we know that Tyler Perry and Christian Keys has worked in the past. He is a powerful person. People are saying the word billionaire. Look, let's be very clear. All I heard was powerful person in Hollywood. That could have been anybody, okay? It very much could have been these white execs, okay? It very much could have been like maybe another actor or a director or whatever the case is. We don't know for sure. I think that, and for him liking that post saying that it wasn't Tyler Perry, maybe it wasn't. But at the same time, you saying that everybody, like people in the comments are saying his name, and the only person they're saying is Tyler. Nobody's saying anybody else. So I don't know. This is confusing. I hope that either this time, and I hate to say it too, like, because I want him to get justice if that happened to him. I would love to see him, formally come out and be like, this is the person that did it. And if you're not going to do that, then just, this topic has to just like die out. It's too much. And people calling you Jussie Smollett, honey, is giving Jesse. Like, it's giving that other girl, what's her name? Carly Russell? Girl, get it together. Look, we gotta move on, child. I want to talk about Taraji P Henson. Okay. Now, Taraji P Henson gets emotional as she talks about being underpaid despite her great success as an actress. Okay, I'm gonna play the video.
Tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathing. And when you start working a lot, you have a team. Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up, there's a whole entire team behind us. Yes. They have to get paid. So when you hear someone saying, oh, such and such made $10 million, no, that's not, that didn't make it to their account.
Okay, and that's basically what she had to say. Here's the thing, because there's a lot of conversation. I was definitely for what she had to say. I think that what she said is valid. I think that's not the first time she's talked about this before. She talked about this years ago. I remember when she was, I forgot what show she was on, but I remember her talking about, breaking down. Basically, and this is only a clip of the interview, but I seen the part where she started breaking down like, okay, you got $2 million and that gets allocated to this and that get allocated to this, and then you only get like the crumbs, right? She talked about how one of her movies, and like I said, this is years ago, she made like $50,000. That's how much she was paid, but that's not how much she got, right? Part of that had to go to Uncle Sam. Other part of that had to go to her management team. Other parts had to get allocated to different foundations, different companies or whatever that makes Taraji, right? Because a lot of actors have management teams. They got to pay them. They got to do this, hairdressers, all that. You know what I'm saying? So she only got, I forgot what the percentage that she got from that $500,000 movie. But she didn't, but when you saw the number, I'm like, it was shocking. Okay. I say that to say there was a lot of people that were coming for Taraji and saying that, oh, well, they were coming for Taraji to uplift Monique because Monique said this before and y'all didn't listen to her. Because that's kind of the conversation that's kind of been permeating, right? Here's the thing with that. I think that, yes, Monique, a lot of the stuff that she was saying is now coming to light. And people are starting to realize it with these other actors coming out and saying things. I don't think I don't think it's right to say that, oh, Taraji ignored what Monique. We don't know what conversations were had behind closed doors, one. And we know Taraji to have these type of conversations in interview. This was not the first time. People like to forget this was not the first time. What I just explained to you earlier, she had this conversation. That's why when I heard it, I was like, oh, I remember this conversation. She said this before. So it's like Taraji Ben was talking about it. Ben was having these conversations. And I think that what made it different this time was that she got emotional. She wasn't emotional the first time. Because I felt like maybe back in the day, she probably felt like she could probably overcome that eventually with more projects that she does. But she's still in the same place. She's literally about to headline or being a supporting actress for a arguably big movie that's about to come out in Christmas. Because, you know, people is going to come out for Color Purple. Okay, let's be very clear. And she has nothing to show for it. A lot of these black actors and actresses have nothing to show for it, and that is a problem. Monique started the conversation, and I also feel like, and I said this to my best friend also, I was like, because she was like, well, yeah, like they didn't say nothing. Your silence means that you're compliant. It's that and third. I'm like, okay, hold on, wait. Because sometimes people don't understand their power. If we look at what happened to Monique, right? When she came out and she said these things, she was lowballed. She was being, you know, ostracized by these companies that didn't want to pay her what she was worth. And we see what happened to her career after that. Her whole career became calling out the industry and not being the actor and comedian that she is. Now, she was able to get out of that. She did a Netflix deal. She had a Netflix special. They're cool now. She's thriving now. And I think people saw that and was like, you know what, I can do that too. Some people just don't understand that power at that time. If I say this, if I speak out and then I get blackballed and I have to go back to work, you know, what I had, like, I don't want to go back to where I was. So I understand to a certain extent why certain actors and black actors especially probably didn't speak out. Because if you speak out, you get blackballed. And that is a bad thing. That is a bad thing. When Eartha Kitt was blackballed, she had to literally leave the country to do work. She did like stupid stuff, like play Catwoman in a Batman series. That stupid, corny Batman series back in the day with Adam West. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, some people just don't want to do that. And okay, maybe that is part of the problem. Maybe they should be, you know, reprimanded. I don't. But at the end of the day, Taraji P Henson was advocating for black actors to be paid what they are worth. That is the truth. And some people are trying to make it about them, like, oh well, yeah, you don't get paid that much, but you still get paid more than me. You know, somebody with a 9-to-5, this, that, and the third. And look, somebody that works a regular job. At the end of the day, every industry need to be revolting. I've said this before. I said this with the whole actor strike with the SAG-AFTRA. I said we all need to revolt and do some demonstrations and picketing and all that. Okay, so I think that this conversation is important, and I love that she had it, and I don't want to come for her because she got emotional and she didn't say nothing she didn't uplift Monique. She probably does now, and that's what counts. So leave her alone. Okay. Now, this other topic I wanted to get into regarding Taraji P Henson, they saying that Oprah not liking it. There's this TikTok video, right? I guess the ladies of Color Purple, they were doing this photo shoot. I'm sorry for the audio listeners, you can't see it. But we can see Oprah noticeably like ignoring Taraji and just like aggravated by her presence. And allegedly, because we did see Taraji post a picture of her taking a picture with Oprah. So, I mean, but people are saying like, you know, Oprah just looks noticeably aggravated. The only thing I can think of is maybe because now this isn't the only recent interview that Taraji has been on where she talked about being underpaid. She has been doing it to a lot of the interviews in the promotion of this movie. So it's now become a topic of discussion more than the movie. Like, we're not talking about Color Purple right now. Like, we're talking about her interviewing and talking about being underpaid and all that. So I think Oprah, and we know Oprah probably had a hand in this movie. So she's probably aggravated that the conversation is kind of off from the movie and in on this, we're getting underpaid. Oprah, that capitalist, she's gonna always think about her brand and business and money. You messing up with what we got going on over here. I hope Taraji just doesn't get blackballed from this. I would hate to see, her become like the next, and I hate to say it, but like the next Monique. Even though, like I said, Monique, she got out of it. She's doing her thing now, but Taraji, we still Taraji need to be in some movies, okay? But I think in the interview she talked about pondering the thought of quitting. Look, I always say stick to what gives you results, okay? And there's going to be a lot of actors, like seasoned, good actors that we're going to lose because of this. Because they're being underpaid. We've seen Viola Davis talk about this. We've seen a lot of people talk about this. I think that it only helps if more and more actors start coming out and saying their stories for us to eventually see the change. Okay? And I think that's all I got to say about that. Right? Let's move on. I got one more topic to get into before I get out of here. I did not eat my breakfast today. Now, originally, I wanted to talk about Married to Medicine and how Quad is being like iced out of the show or whatnot. Well, Quad is being iced out of the show. That's all y'all need to know, right? It's the girls are kicking her out. I had this whole prepared topic that it kind of got blindsided because I want to talk about Jackie now. I want to talk about Jackie because she recently went viral because of a resurfaced clip of her saying Black women that are pregnant cry wolf. I'm going to play the clip.
Sometimes as African-American women, we're a bit more dramatic in that you go to the doctor and you complain and you complain and you complain and you're not taken serious because you cried wolf the entire pregnancy.
That ain't me, boo. I don't know what you talking about, but go ahead.
I didn't say you. I just said as African-American women, we want to also make sure you're being serious with your doctor and not playing the game so I can take you off work. Because then we see you 25 times in the pregnancy. It's hard to believe that there's a true problem when there's a true problem.
And that's what she said, honey. That was what the clip was, honey. That's...
Girl. This girl is delusional.
Very delusional because you know what? She had got dragged on social media. And it was not pretty. Okay, we had people like Mariah come out and say something. The girl Buffy, if y'all watch Married to Medicine, I remember this one doctor's wife named Buffy. She was infertile, and Jackie made claim to that at an event in which Buffy wasn't comfortable having her say that in front of like a whole bunch of people, which embarrassed her, and she called out Jackie, and Jackie was very condescending. That was like one of my first experiences with Jackie being like, okay, Jackie, like you being a little bit too. She's saying she had an issue with what you said. Don't be technical about it. Don't be like, oh well, you said you thought I meant this, but no, I felt offended by it. You're either gonna apologize or you're not. Okay, so Jackie makes this statement, and I'm going look. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna read it aloud because y'all gotta hear this. Recently, a clip from a nearly 2-hour video was taken out of context to make it appear that I somehow take lightly what I have advocated for concerning the devastating problem facing Black maternal health crisis. It has been my life's work to highlight and attempt to rectify the issues that devastatedly impact Black maternal mothers versus our counterparts. As a physician, I educate my patients every day to be their own best health advocate as we continue to face medical mistreatment and gaslighting. My intention with a broader conversation was to ensure patients enter their pregnancies armed with information and tools to effectively communicate their needs with their doctors to ensure a positive outcome. The reason I became an OBGYN is because growing up, I saw a lack of diversity amongst medical professionals and was determined to be a part of the change. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I will continue to fight for the lives of Black mothers and babies. And I thought that was some bull crap. This is typical Jackie. This is typical Jackie. This is Jackie. This is what she does. She, people share their frustrations on what she said, and she tries to gaslight you into thinking, no, you're dumb because you just misheard what I said and you took it out of context. What context? Let's talk about the context, okay? Because social media, they revealed the full clip, the full audio, I think it was like a 2, 3, 4, 5-minute video of you talking about the mortality rate among Black women, Black pregnant women especially. Okay. Dr. Heavily listed out, like, you know, well, she basically asked the question and you gave your list of reasonings, which were, you know, outstanding situations, health problems, COVID. She also said that some women don't go to the doctors enough when they're pregnant. Okay. She brought up valid reasons, but in the end, okay, she brought up the fact that Black women cry wolf, and that links to, you know, doctors not believing because she said that you keep on complaining to doctors and try to get you out of work and stuff like that, and doctors will tend to not listen. So, and that's the reason why doctors don't listen, is because you done cried wolf so many times, and now they think that you're lying or something like that. I think that is very, very dangerous, and you know, I am very adamant on wanting to have a doctor of color, one, because I personally feel like when I be talking to doctors that don't look like me, and I'm not trying to say nothing, and I tell them how I'm feeling and what's going on. Oh no, it's nothing. It's nothing. You don't need to come in. You don't need to come in. And then until you need to come in. I think it was Serena Williams almost died because the doctor didn't listen to her when she was giving birth. So this whole crying wolf thing, like somebody said in my comments on TikTok, this is medical racism. And being that you're a Black physician saying that is like the worst. Like, and then to gaslight us and say that something was taken out of context and giving us all this information, because that's what Jackie does. And I had to say this to my best friend. Most doctors are like that though. Like, they are not wrong. They are never wrong. Like, and when you call them out on their stuff, they will make you feel stupid because, oh no, I didn't say it. I didn't say that. You read it that way because you don't think. Like, Jackie is very condescending, and it was very aggravating to see that. And then to also have her on the show talk about it with Kamala Harris about how, like, you know, the mortality rate is really high amongst Black women because the doctors aren't believing their patients, when you said this back then. So I'm like, so what stance are you on now? That doesn't make any sense. She needs to address this. I hope they address that on the reunion. Andy, I can't even expect. I can't expect him to talk about this because, I mean, look how he handled Housewives of Potomac with the colorism conversation. You just stepped aside and let them figure it out on their own instead of bringing somebody in to talk about it. Yeah, Jackie needs to be replaced. She needs to be fired from the show because, you know what? She's tired anyway. Her husband barely on the show. Husband don't want to be with her. Okay, let's be very clear. And it comes off disingenuous, and I don't want to say, well, this is why X, Y, and Z, but for someone to have that opinion and also never had the experience of having a child, it's almost like me saying, women be crying wolf. As me, a man, saying that. Get it together, Jackie. Okay. And y'all should be ashamed you played a part in Xing out Quad because she doesn't hold herself accountable for the things that she said, and you literally just said, oh, my stuff was taken out of context. I did nothing wrong. I said what I said. You said what you said. If I was a patient for hers, I would change doctors immediately. Y'all done got me started on this show, and it's the last topic. Ugh, girl. Look. I ain't got nothing else to say about that. I think that, like I said, Jackie need to lead the show. They need to get rid of Jackie. We need some new faces. I don't even like how the show is going anyway, because I don't like how this is like a whole, like, this is turning into like Big Brother now. Like they can vote off people. They can choose who can stay and who can go in the group. So I felt like that was so poorly handled on how they did Quad. Now, despite Quad don't hold herself accountable for the things she do. She ain't got a leg in this fight. Okay, let's be very clear. But it's not the authority of these castmates to figure out if they want this person on the show or not. I don't think it should be. Production should have stepped in. Honey, she's under contract. She has to be on this show. Like I said, these topics got me started today. I'm done. I'm out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope I didn't scare y'all off a little bit too much over there. We Are You Radio, but that's how we talk on here. Like I said, I'll be back with the next episode that will be before New Year's. So I'll be giving out my little New Year's resolution and telling y'all what I have in store for the show. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. If you missed any of it, please be sure to check the replay out. It's going to be on YouTube right after this, or on your preferred podcast platforms, of course. And you guys have a good one. See y'all later.